Welcome to I Love Snow Real Talk. It's the show where we talk about, the daily recap of the Olympics and we discuss everything happening in today's games. We've got 3 topics, 3 very special guests, and I'm really looking forward to introducing our first guest. But first of all, we have ski jumping, cross-country skiing, and our alpine recaps. So we're going to start with Daniel Huber, Olympic champion with the Team Austria in Beijing 2022 Olympic Games. And let's welcome Hubi.
Hey, Ellie. Nice
Hi.
to be here.
Good to talk to you. Good to see you. And so what did you think about the first medals for the Games on the men's side?
Oh, wow. Yeah, really exciting competition, I guess. With probably not the most expecting names on the top, but I think a well-deserved Olympic champion with Philipp Raimund, and also another great lineup for the medals. So really exciting competition, I think.
Yeah, and also having 4 medals is just so unusual and so unexpected. This is like really, really crazy. It's pretty unheard of to have 4 athletes on the podium, and to have 4 different nations on the podium is pretty cool. I definitely think it's also crazy to note that, Tomaszek he's never had a World Cup podium. Raimund has never had a World Cup win. And so to have both those two on the Olympic podium is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the spirit of the games, right? Those are all individual competitions, and it's always a special atmosphere and exciting competition. So everyone's fighting as hard as they can. So and especially with these kind of hills, maybe there are some winners you wouldn't have expected before. Like if you see Kasper's jumping technique, it's probably made for this hill, if you want to say. So it's maybe a surprise from the outside, but if you watch really the techniques and the profile of the hill, it kind of fits together.
Yeah, I would really agree. And I think also on such a small hill, it's such small differences and little tiny things you're doing that make the difference for the podium.
Yeah, it's so tight. You've seen it with the judges' score. Especially Jan and Stefan did struggle with the landing. It's a difficult hill to land down there at those distances. So and the points are really tight. So you have like a 2 on third place.
Yeah, well, and also not just that, but the high altitude kind of makes it a little bit more challenging when you're coming in for that final approach landing. And then when it's so competitive, every mistake is punished so hard.
Yeah, you had to feel it in summer, right?
Yeah, I really did feel that one in summer. Yeah, absolutely. But, I think it's exciting when you see an underdog on the podium. It's quite exciting, and it makes for good sport. And, there were definitely some surprises, like on the women's side. It was also a little bit of a shock that Nika Prejec did come in second. She was really like a heavy favorite to win. And then Strum came out on top, which was a big surprise. But I mean, Nika's also 20.
Yeah, and she's only human, and those are special competitions and special days. And I guess it's not easy if you're in that kind of favorite position to win every training round, every trial round before, and by far. And then getting nervous in the wrong moment, probably maybe too nervous, and then it's small, as you said, small mistakes are punished quite big, and then it's only second. Sounds not that bad, but for her it's probably disappointing.
Absolutely. I mean, overall, it was a little bit of a surprise seeing both the Prejec siblings not perform the way they'd been expected to, but at the same time, they're both quite young, and I think the big hill suits both of them better than this small hill. So it'll be exciting to watch them on the large hill, and it'll make for
I
some good
think
show.
even with those mistakes, Nika would have won on the big hill probably.
I would
Because
agree. It was
yeah,
so close anyways, but, you know,
and Domen will enjoy the bigger hill
yeah.
also better. Yeah, I know it from my jumping on the modern hills with the new profiles are not the best for good flyers.
No,
So the bigger hill will be better for them.
I think so too. I mean, but it's quite interesting to see how quickly it comes and goes. And, you know, ski jumping is such a sport where it's all mentally driven. And so, you know, when you're making those small mistakes, it feels like you lose it so quickly, or sometimes you are jumping terribly and all of a sudden you're jumping fantastic. So
Yeah,
I think
it is.
it's
It's so
interesting.
close, and I think the hard thing about it is not to get crazy because
It's
it
quite
changes
challenging.
so quickly sometimes. It's so challenging for the head and as a it's a mental sport. It is, and it all happens in such a short time. So
Mhm.
yeah, you have to be there. You have to be focused, and you have to really have a good day. And yeah, Philip had that yesterday, so it's gonna be exciting what will happen today.
Yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful last jump. It was spectacular, and it was a very deserved victory. But it's crazy, you know, to have never won a World Cup to go into your first Olympic event and win gold is a great story. And I think that storytelling is a really big part of ski jumping. We, you know, I think because we have such short time frames that you have so much opportunity for so much around it. And, you know, there's so much going on in the community where we're very connected, and, you know, there's not very many athletes on World Cups, so everyone knows everyone, and it's cool to
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool to see. And as you said, it's a well-deserved victory. He did great competitions this winter, even though he didn't win. But that's also something that has to happen. Maybe sometimes it does by accident, and but this time it for him the Olympic medal was for sure no accident.
I agree.
Um, he's such a talented guy, and if he has all his stuff together, he can win World Cups in the close future for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it really felt like he was building up all winter and that this was just, like, the perfect timing for the Olympic Games for him. He really, like,
Yeah.
nailed his planning head on, so you have to respect that.
Yes, for
Like,
sure.
yeah.
No, it's great effort, and yeah, as I
Yeah.
said, well deserved.
It's phenomenal. And, you know, of course, in ski jumping, it's really easy to have a viral moment. You know, it's such an extreme sport. And I think that when people who are not exposed to ski jumping see it, it's kind of breathtaking. Like, I think that this last jump from Raimund could be one that is going viral just because people see the magnitude of the sport. And, you know, in the spring, there was the video of Nika setting the world
Yeah.
record that went
Oh, crazy.
absolutely off the charts. And it
I've
was
never
just
seen these numbers.
they're unbelievable. It was insane.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, obviously it was a beautiful jump and it was really the hype was totally deserved, but it's crazy how when ski jumping is exposed to a new audience, the curiosity of it really gets to them, you know? I mean, I think
Yeah, for
there
sure.
was one
I mean,
video.
I've experienced that by myself. I
Yeah, I was
had
gonna say you had one.
yeah, exactly. Also in Vickesund, with like two, I don't know which one it was. I think the one with
This one.
244.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it didn't went that viral, but it also came to like 39 million views or something.
it's
So that's
insane.
crazy, and I had so many comments. Yeah, where the people couldn't believe what they were seeing. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's quite fun and interesting how the approach is around the world.
Yeah, I mean, I come from a country where people don't know about ski jumping. I'm asked at home, "How many flips can I do?" And I'm like, hopefully none." But I think when
How
people
high do you jump?
yeah, when people are first exposed to ski jumping, they are just taken aback. It's such an insane sport, and it's so niche that I think when people get to see it, they don't know what to think about it. There's lots of
Oh,
questions.
especially ski flying is a number for itself, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's even better to experience it live.
I agree. I think that experiencing ski flying live is something special. You know, you
Yeah,
just witnessing that in person is incredible. So,
yeah,
well,
agree.
thank you so much. So let's take a look at our next guest, who
Thank
is
you.
actually competed today and in today's cross country classic sprint race. So let's welcome James Klugnan. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, from Team Great Britain. So I know very little about cross country skiing, but let's start with, how did today go for you? How are you feeling about your race?
I didn't have the greatest race. This was not my target race. So we have classic or skate, and I'm much more of a skate sprinter. And today was a classic sprint, so it wasn't so great. Could have gone worse. Could have gone better. It was pretty challenging conditions. So I think lots of nations struggled to have good grip and good glide. So I was one of them that had maybe a little bit too little grip, even though I had really good glide. So yeah, not the greatest day, but I'm doing skate the next two races, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's exciting. And, you know, I think if you can have good takeaways from your weaker event, then it's good heading into your next ones.
Exactly, and it was insane atmosphere. There was lots of crowds, everybody screaming for us. I had bib number one, so I was the first one on the tracks.
Wow.
So that was really cool. And yeah, it was actually nuts because I was like racing and there was like thousands of people just screaming. And I could hear my mum screaming from
Oh,
like she's like
yeah.
a meter 50. She's really
Yeah.
small and like she just screamed so loud and I could hear her during the race. So that was pretty cool actually. So
I think that, like, you know, on our team, we say we have an Olympic moment. So we always like talk about this in our team where like we think of, you know, one emotional part of the event or like from our Olympic experience. And so we always say every Olympics, you have that one moment that you will always think about. And, you know, it might be like mine was in Beijing when my teammate looked at me after we'd won a medal together and he just like smiled and looked so proud at all of us. And, you know, this Olympics, my other teammate said, you know, she saw her mom in the crowd and, you know, that was hers. And would you say that that was your, like, you know, you're always going to remember hearing your mom cheering for you? Or have you had another like really special moment these games so far?
yeah, for sure. I think that's definitely something I'm gonna remember. Like it's special to have your family here. I was in Beijing as well, and of course there wasn't family. There wasn't any people
Yeah.
watching. Here is so much more community. So yeah, at least we're having a really good time. It's not necessarily the performance I was hoping for, but yeah, it's still really cool, and I'm really enjoying it. So I think looking forward to the next races at least.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you need to give us a little bit of a cross country rundown. I know a little bit, but
Yeah,
as a Nordic athlete, I'm pretty terrible.
yeah.
The cross country women, they had a sweep, which is pretty exciting if you're a Swedish fan. I don't know if you feel that way if you're not a Swedish fan, but from an outsider, it's pretty cool to see a team dominate in that way. It takes a lot of work, and I think it shows a lot about the community they have as a team.
Yeah, so I think we can say that yeah, Sweden was so good, and they've been so good so far on the women's side. They have already 5 medals out of 6 for
That's
women,
insane.
so that's insane. I think it's cool to see Lynn Svan managing to get her first gold medal on her first Olympics.
Wow.
We haven't quite seen Lynn Svan versus Jonas Sundling, who's been kind of the goat the last few years. She's been quite injured and ill at the start of the season, so she didn't race in Ruka and she didn't race Tour de Ski. So yeah, it was super cool to see her rise to the event. There's like I feel there's people that choke when it's Olympics, and there's people that really outperform themselves.
Mhm.
And I think Lynn showed that today. Also, I think that Yona raced on the skiathlon 2 days ago.
Oh, we've lost him. Not sure. I think he's having some technical difficulties at the moment, but there you
All
are.
right.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
here I
lost
am. I don't
you.
know if it's my fault or not my fault, but anyway, I could was saying that yeah, it was really cool to see Linz van do well. And yes, Jonas and Ling raced 2 days ago, so I think that kind of cost a bit. She also kind of blew up in the race, so these races cost a lot. So yeah, it's nice to see someone else get a gold medal as well, because both Jonas Ling and Maya Dahlqvist have a medal from Beijing, so it was nice to see that as well.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And
yeah, go for it.
no, continue.
No,
I'm
I was just gonna talk about the rest of the race. It was really long race for women. So
Mhm,
I think Christine Stavashista, the Norwegian goat as well.
mhm.
She didn't quite manage to get her medal, which I think she was really disappointed. It was a much longer sprint that we usually do on World Cup. I think it was 4 minutes 4:10 for the longest heats, which is much longer than the usual 3 minutes. And she's a pure sprinter, so I think she kind of missed out a bit on that, and unfortunately, so yeah, it was sad, but yeah, again, needs to be a place for everyone. It was cool to see Julie Drivenes manage to be fourth. She also is doing a first Olympics, and it's kind of a breakthrough season as well. So it'll be exciting to see if she can continue, yeah,
Yeah.
performing really well.
Well, that sounds like a very exciting side on the women's. And I mean, the men's had a very exciting day too. Clevo won, it was not a surprise. He was favorite to win and delivered on that promise. But on the silver medal position, the Americans ended a 50-year drought for men's cross country Olympic medals, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean, I just watched the post from Fizz on Instagram, and I just saw like this yeah, this post with Will Cook from 50 years ago and Ben Ogden, and I just got a little bit emotional. I think it's so well deserved. He's a super nice guy, and I know that the US, again, well, they love skiing, and they really deserve this. They've been doing a great job last few years. Ben has been, he races with style, like he just attacks. He just
Mhm.
doesn't think, he just attacks and goes. And that worked really well for him. It also worked quite well for the Czech guy that ended up in fifth position, Yeritus. So yeah, it was really cool to see these guys just outperforming on the Olympics. So yeah, it was an exciting sprint. Again, it was really tough. I think it's not so often we see sprints that split like this in the first hill. Even I think Johannes Hosfeldklabo didn't want to take any chances, so he just went hard from the start, and it was just a crazy race. Like, he is so much better than everyone. It's
I mean,
a little bit
that's so hard,
devastating, but he is
but
just an absolute goat. It's we were just discussing on the podcast with my friend Mika, if he was gonna manage to get his 6 gold medals like he did in Trondheim. And before the Olympics, I wasn't so convinced, but I think the panache he's been showing these Olympics is just unbelievable. So I actually think he might make it.
I also think part of it is there's some athletes who, in that situation, they just know how to step up. That is like their strength as an athlete, is not just being a good athlete or, the preparation goes into it. It's the way they approach major games that it's just like unbelievably dominant. And it's so cool to watch. I mean, I'm sure it's frustrating as a competitor, but, you know, it's pretty spectacular from an outside perspective.
Yeah, I mean, the dude's annoying. Like, he's dominant on the World Cup, and then
Yeah, I'm
he's
sure.
even manages to step it up on Olympics and World Championships. So yeah, it's kudos to him. Yeah, well deserved. He's a real goat. Also, we should point out the youngster that managed to be third, Oscar Stadvika, who was actually lots of people were debating if the selection for Olympics for him was worth it. And he showed that
Yeah, it
it was
was.
definitely worth it. He got his bronze medal, so that was pretty cool to see. He's I think 21 years old, so he has many years in front of him, and he could be the next Johannes Osvald Klæbo, actually.
Wow. I mean, that's pretty spectacular. That's an exciting podium, I have to say, you know. And I think that that's one of the best parts about the games is the unexpectedness, you know. Everyone always tells you as an athlete, like, don't expect, like, you can never expect anything at the games because the unexpected always seems to happen. And
Yeah.
I definitely think that that happened in cross country skiing today. So, like, what do we need to watch out for next in cross country skiing? Like, what is coming up?
I mean, okay, so there's the 10K skate is the next race for women and men on Thursday and Friday. So difficult to tell if Jessie Diggins is gonna be able to show her performance. She crashed in the skiathlon, and she didn't have the best race today, but she's more of a distance skier, so that's gonna be someone to look out for. There's the Norwegian biathlete that's changed to cross country, Einar Hedegaard. I don't think we can call him a biathlete now because he's performing better in cross country than biathlon, so he's definitely a cross country skier now. Um, and I think he will be the one person that can beat Johannes Osvald Klæbo. But actually, one last thing that we should really look out for is US team in the relay and the team sprint. They've been extremely good so far. And again, seeing Ben being able to be on the podium today, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, that sounds so exciting. And yeah, thank you so much for that. And I really appreciate
Okay, I thought it was me that had frozen, but it was not me that had frozen. So yeah, well, I guess the host will be back soon, but I can just continue blabbing about cross country skiing then. That's good then. So I was just saying that yeah, it's gonna be some good races for the distance. Women's is going to be interesting to see if Norway can actually take a win on these Olympics in the 10K skate. I think the Swedish has shown that yeah, they're really a force to be reckoned with. So yeah, it's gonna be cool to see if Astrid Lind or Julia Drivenes can step it up. And then on the 10K for men, yeah, again, Arna Hedegaard is gonna be a force to be reckoned with, and we'll see if Harald Amundsen can finally get his medal that he deserves a lot. He crashed on the skiathlon, so yeah, I think that's gonna be the things to look forward to. So apparently, I'm being a host now. Oh, we've got a host back.
okay,
Yes,
I'm back. I mean, if
yeah.
you want to take over, I'm sure it will
It was no problem. I was
you
having
would do
quite a good
great.
time just blabbing by myself. It's no problem.
Yeah, talking to yourself. I mean, you're a podcaster, you have to be good at talking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm so sorry for that. You know, the Wi-Fi in Italy up in the mountains here is never reliable. You know, the mountain Wi-Fi, it tends to be a little bit of a mess, but thank you for your expertise on the cross-country skiing. I know nothing about it, so I very much appreciate it. Of
Yeah. Thanks for having me on air. It was cool.
course. So let's switch it up for our last guest. We've got two very special alpine skiing guests, and not only are they teammates, but they are family. And so let's welcome Sarah Schlepper and Lisse. I'm gonna mess up the last name again. I've tried my best. I'm so sorry. I need your help with that one again. I'm sorry.
It's Gahiola.
Yahyola. Thank you. I
Like that's
apologize.
the no, it's all good.
Okay, well, welcome. I know obviously you two aren't together because the men's and women's alpine skiing are not in the same place, but you are both representing Mexico together. And tell me about it.
Well, it's been very interesting because I've had Lasse with me since I was an athlete with the U.S. team, and I competed as a mother in Vancouver, and Lasse was very young. And now here we are competing together, which has been quite the story for us as a family and for everyone around us and all the people that have supported us. I can hardly believe it, but it's been kind of our life and our goal for many years to come to this Olympics together. So we're super proud to be here, and we're honored to represent Mexico.
Wow, that's amazing. And so how does it feel to be here together? Not just like, I'm not just representing my country, but, I'm here with my family. And, I'm sure your entire family is probably very excited to not just have one of you, but both of you here. There's lots of stories of siblings competing together, but like a mother and a son is definitely a little bit unique.
I've been saying a bunch that I'm just very grateful to be able to give something back to her for showing me this wonderful sport and how to ski and being such an amazing mother. And I feel very grateful to her for being able to show me how to ski and like how to ski fast, especially.
That's a very important skill in your sport, I would say. I mean, it's
Yeah.
incredible to be a 7th-time Olympian, but yeah, it's unbelievable. It's such an incredible story, and I think it's really great to see you guys, bonded in such a incredible way. And I think the Olympics bring so much emotion and so much feeling, and I think it bonds all athletes, but this is beyond that.
It's exciting, and I'm going to start racing here in 2 days, so the nerves are starting to set in, and
Yeah.
and hopefully we can make some magic on the slopes. That's really the goal, and ski like we know how.
Yeah,
It's been fun.
absolutely.
It's been really fun watching the alpine events, and it's a bummer that we're not together in the same village, but at the same time it's nice that Lasse can kind of experience the games on his own and witness everything with his own virgin eyes versus me telling him, oh, this is this and that's that.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you have something that, are you guys going to meet up after? Do you have plans post games to celebrate? Do you have a family vacation, or are you just continuing on with the World Cup circuit after, like many athletes are?
I plan to go watch him race slalom on the 16th in Bormio. Right after my race, I'm going to catch a ride with the shred guys, and they offered to take me, so I'll be able to watch him race his slalom event. And then we have the Mexican Championships in Dobiaco, not too far from Cortina, and that comes right after, so we'll be there for that, celebrating Mexico again. And then Lasse's headed to World Juniors in Norway.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of skiing, but it seems like that's what you guys enjoy doing. So it's really great to see. And, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on the skiing today. I mean, I know that Austria took the gold, and yeah, let's hear your thoughts on it.
Did you watch
I
Les?
was. Yeah, I watched. It was really cool to watch. I mean, I think the combine is such a cool event, and I wish I was telling my dad earlier that I wished I had a teammate so I could race the combine, and it just seems like such a fun event. Like you and your teammate just have to have such a like good like bond, and I feel like it's hard. I feel like it's extra hard, but then it's like there's extra glory when
Yeah.
you win with somebody else, and it seems like such an amazing and special event. We watched the slalom together. I watched the slalom together with my dad and my friend, and we watched Michaela, and she looked really good, and we were a little surprised that she was a second out. We were a little shocked by that. I don't know if you saw that, Mom. I thought she skied well.
Yeah, it was actually a very surprising turn of events, but yeah, it's definitely exciting to watch. And I think being in an individual sport and getting to compete with a teammate is just so incredibly special. I know that lots of individual athletes do actually look forward to a team event because, you're not just holding that pressure yourself. You kind of have it as a group, and you get to uphold those things together. And I'm sure kind of as a team, you guys can see that in a certain way. Even though you're individual athletes, you're also, obviously actually family, but you're a family. And what are your guys' plans for evolving the sport in Mexico?
I host camps where athletes from Mexico and all over the world are welcome to come. And where we live in Colorado, we have a lot of Mexicans involved in alpine skiing. And we have our team's pretty big this year for Mexico. We have 2 cross country skiers, and our figure skater Donovan is competing. Actually, his event's starting right now, so I'm looking forward to watching him because I think he's a real star on the ice. But I think the more that this games especially, we've gotten a lot of coverage because of our familiar, the way we're connected as a family and just that whole story. So I hope that that's inspiring to Mexicans and that they want to search out the snow. Obviously, they have to move or make way to get training, and that's not always easy for most. And it's important to have a lot of athletes involved so that the cream can rise to the top. So we're just hoping to get more athletes involved and get them closer to the snow so that they're able to train.
Yeah, I mean, that's super cool. And I think that oftentimes those athletes who are willing to make that sacrifice of leaving home to pursue a dream tend to be the best because they have, so much passion. And, even if the road is difficult and long, they're still willing to go for it. And those are the athletes that in the long run are successful. So I'm sure it's exciting for you guys, and like looking at what the next generation of Mexican skiers are kind of doing and being involved is just so incredible. And it's exciting to see what they come up with. Do you have any updates on them?
We actually compete and train with a family in Vail called the Drays. And we've started a foundation in the U.S. for people to help support us, and just so it's a tax write-off and that it's easier to help contribute to the team. So those are 2 up-and-coming racers that actually ski quite well. We also have Alessandro Fincantele that has trained with us a lot as well. And I have a nephew that's training with me. I'm a coach in Vail, and I coach U10s and U12s. And we have two young Mexicans on the team. So we are growing and getting faster each year.
That's awesome. That's absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
Of course.
I think this show is really great, and it's feeding my curiosity to know more about the other sports, and we're so thankful that you had us on. And I really enjoyed hearing about the ski jumping and the cross country.
Yeah. It was really cool to learn a little bit about those 2 sports, I thought.
I mean, I think it's so great to learn about your guys' story as well, because not only are you fighting for a dream for your guys, like yourselves, but, you're kind of bringing the sport to Mexico. And I think that that's absolutely amazing. I have very similar aspirations with my sport in my home country, so I think it's just incredible what you guys are doing. And are we ready to vote on the moment of the day? I think that everyone is going to join us here.
Okay.
Okay, so first off, I think we have Philip Raimund winning his first victory on the world stage, an Olympic gold medal. And, you see the emotions not just from him, but his teammates. And I mean, Hubi, you've been in similar situations where, the whole team is just so thrilled for someone's victory.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked. You've talked about experiencing competitions or these pressure moments as a team, and it's phenomenal. For me, the team event in Beijing with my 3 colleagues was one of the best days of my career. So it's so enjoyable, and also so nice to put the pressure on 3 other guys. And also the celebrations afterwards are much more fun if you're together and not celebrating by yourself. So we had fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all individual athletes here, but, even if I always say, if it's not me winning, I want my teammate to be the one winning. So I think that lots of athletes feel this way. Maybe once in a while you have some team rivalry, but yeah.
Do you want me to take this one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 50 years for the US to get a medal for the men. I think that's a pretty special moment. We know how big cross country skiing is in the US. I touched it a bit earlier. I think it's a super special moment, not only for Ben, but for all the work that the people have been, yeah, all the support that's been going for these guys. And actually, funny story is that Bill Cock is the guy who invented the skate technique. So he was the one that started pushing sideways on skis and started going really fast. So he's a legend of the sport, and so for Ben to meet his level, kind of 50 years later, is huge, and I think it's a great moment.
I mean, I think that that's also a pivotal moment in like recent history for them. Okay, we're changing photos, I guess. Sorry. And then obviously we have the team combined, the Austrian girls absolutely like killed it today. And I think that, yeah, we kind of were saying that earlier, where when you are an individual athlete, but you're competing with your team, it's just so phenomenal. It's a different vibe for sure.
Take it, Leslie.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an awesome win from them. It's even greater when they come from a little farther behind in the downhill and to win it. And I think that the slalom run was amazing. It was great skiing from both of them. Yeah, I think it was an amazing victory today for them.
Yeah, it was exciting to watch. I was watching with the Austrian team, and yeah, they were just like going absolutely wild watching the last few runs there. It was pretty exciting to be in that atmosphere. And, even across sports, I feel like the Olympics connect athletes. I was watching with the ski jumpers, but they're losing their mind over the women's downhill racers. And I think that that's something you don't get in a lot of other events.
Also, you have to say that alpine skiing in Austria is just so huge.
Like
so for them
hockey in
to get
Canada.
yes, yeah, exactly. So for them to get a gold medal is like massive, and I'm sure the whole country will be celebrating tonight.
Yep, I would honestly agree with you. I think that that's pretty likely. I mean, it's awesome. I think it's so cool to see.
And in Mexico, we have the divers.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Every country has a sport that they're just so passionate about, and when you can perform with that kind of pressure, it's pretty amazing. I mean, I'm sure Hubi can speak to it as well, just because ski jumping is up there in Austria, and there's a lot of expectation for them to perform.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the pressure is high at those highlight events, and it's the best thing that can happen for us as a skiing nation. Doesn't matter if it's alpine skiing now or ski jumping, or Nordic combined or anything else. But it's good for the sport, good for the federation, and good for anything else, even for the development. Young guys, young girls are watching those kind of competitions and want to try it by themselves. So that's the best thing and a great, huge achievement for them.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I'm sure you can also speak to how it feels to have those kind of expectations and actually deliver on them. Like, is it just like the best feeling ever when you win? Or?
The competition in Beijing was it was probably the day where I was the most nervous. Had adrenaline all day long, and couldn't figure out how to get rid of it. But as a team, and we stood together, and it's a bit easier and it helps. So we managed to stand through it and came home with the gold medal. So that's amazing day, and I will never forget it.
That's pretty cool. Absolutely amazing. And I think we are wrapping up. I saw our little promotional thing of upcoming events, and it's disappeared again now. So all good. Okay. Thank you. You have it here. So tomorrow there's going to be Nordic Combined, which is definitely something that's really important for the future of the sport to be watching. You know, it's a little bit on the back burner, but it deserves lots of love. Not only are they good at one sport, but they're good at two sports, which is absolutely insane. And then, of course, we have Park and Pipe for women. They've got their qualification. Freestyle skiing moguls for women, their qualification. And then Alpine Super G for the men. And then, of course, we have the cross-country skiing portion of the men's Nordic Combined. And then freestyle skiing finals and Park and Pipe qualification for the boys as well. And so it'll be an exciting day. I mean, I know I'm definitely tuning in for the Nordic Combined, and I hope everyone find something good to watch tomorrow.
Definitely. It's hard as an athlete to catch up on all the events because you have to do your training and get through everything. So I hope to catch up on everything at some point.
Yeah, you kind of have to have a highlight reel.
Yeah, exactly.
Moral of the story, you're not missing anything tomorrow if you're training because there's no cross-country skiing tomorrow.
There's Nordic Combined, there's cross-country skiing in that.
That's true.
I guess so. There is.
Well,
yeah,
it'll be an exciting day tomorrow too. So hopefully everyone tunes into something, finds something good to watch, and has a great day. And
I have to note on the British uniforms, I think they're quite nice. I like that color.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look great.
All in pink.
Yeah.
Thanks.
yeah.
Okay, well, thank you all so very much. Absolutely amazing. And good luck in upcoming events. I mean, Hubi, you're in the same situation I am. We're cheering loud and proud, but the rest of you guys have jobs to do. So hope to see you guys smiling, doing your best. Good luck.
Good luck.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Yeah. Good luck, everybody. Thank you.